Welcome back to the CryptoLabs Passive Income YouTube channel. I'm really excited for today's video. There's more and more. I'm really excited by the fact that more and more people are in the comments like, more DeFi, more DeFi. That is my jam. It always has been. I love the world of DeFi, and I'll always choose DeFi returns over any kind of DApp. And maybe I'll get some hate for that. DApps are an easy way to get into it. And if you're disciplined, you can make some really good money with ROI type dApps. As long as you're disciplined, you can get in, get out. Most people, they miss that part. DeFi I like because you're in full control of your money. So if you'd like to keep seeing videos like this, do leave a comment below. You'll also automatically be entered into our weekly giveaways. Made about $2,000 here, 2,200 bucks ish over the last 24 hours. Quarter of it is realized, took it for profit. Three-quarters of it is not yet realized because I'm going to make a lot more than that. Hoping to make around 10 grand this week in just one protocol, that is. That's not in anything else. I think this protocol is an easy one to share and show. I don't recommend getting into it unless you know what you're doing. But this may be the start of your education, or by clicking buttons and going deep down the rabbit hole. And I'll share with you my process and how I find these. Cool? Plus, we have an awesome team. So sometimes the team shares things with me and I'm like, ooh, or even our community shares stuff. I'll share with it behind the scenes here in a sec. But if you do want more videos like this, let me know. So here's what I'll kind of first share is Base Swap came on our radar. The team shared it, so I got a little bit of a head start on it. But two, I'll go into DeFi Llama. I usually pick $1 million or more in TVL, and I'll look for different pools or different opportunities. Obviously, Base Swap now is number 2 with $1 million plus TVL, earning about 686, almost 700% per year. There are a few others. For Velodrome, I got into one of those. I won't share it because it's a little more complex, but basically you can earn a very nice return on Velo tokens or the Velodrome token, but I don't want to buy the tokens. And so I'll find farms. I'll find a way to create the Velo tokens without actually buying them and then stake those. I did it with Radiant. I'm now doing it with BSwap and really just that whole ecosystem. I like the base ecosystem, what they're building on that blockchain. And BSwap is not obviously associated with them, but they're a DEX that's built off it. So we'll get into all that fun stuff. And if any of this terminology flies over your head, just keep coming back to this channel and keep committing to normalizing the conversations we're going to have. So you can find some really awesome returns. Some of these are a little more short-term plays, some of these more long-term plays, but please rewire the brain, as in these won't necessarily rug on you. There's no team that can say no more withdrawals, no more deposits, no more. You're in control of your money. There's still risk associated with it, like impermanent loss, which is why I'll show you how I combat impermanent loss as well, which I did on Base Swap. That's where my $500 of realized profit came in. And I have some unrealized profit in a liquidity pool, but I have some unrealized gain, or I have some impermanent loss in there as well. And I'll share all that in a second here. So here's where I find them. We look around. We also have a team. We also have a team Slack. And if any awesome projects come up from the team, we jump on them. And that's how our community gets to know about them so quick, because by the time they're on YouTube, it's already been a few days. Like, YouTube's not my full-time job here. So basically, I'll kind of explain what I did here. And by the way, if you do want to check out our community, do. Like, Davis is part of our team now, but also we were having a great conversation here with a community member regarding V33. Doesn't really matter, but basically was saying it can be very profitable, blah, blah. This one problem, this is where our collective knowledge is so great. I realized I was playing the V game wrong as I bought $1,000 of voting power and locked these tokens for 3 years. I don't like locking stuff up for 3 years, which is why, lesson learned, I'm okay paying for education. So what has been better way? As Andrea pointed out, also I pointed this out, I'm trying to get some Velo. I want to get some tokens locked up, but I don't want to buy those tokens. How can I create yield? How can I earn those tokens for free, much like I did with Radiant, much like I'm doing with BSwap, much like I'm doing with Velo? How can I earn those tokens and then stake them? And fine, I can stake them for 2 years, 4 years if they were free and earn an awesome yield off that. And if they do go to zero, I've still made a ton of money. I'm always hedging my risks. I always need more upside than downside, or I won't make a decision to do something. That's the only way you succeed in life long term. And most people are seeing upside and they're jumping on it without understanding there's a ton of downside, and they're not putting that into the equation, and I just don't want you falling down the same trap. Plus, we're always sharing projects. I mean, this was already a few days ago, but we're also always sharing different farms, different things we're in. I shared 3 different farms a few days ago that are doing really, really well. So come join our community. It's a price of coffee per day, and you could be in our community and you will make a ton of money. I mean, it was $2,000 over the last 24 hours. That pays for a year and a half of membership. So in my swap here, basically I bought around just basically $500 of BSwap tokens to sort of ride the wave up. I bought it around $4.90, basically $5. It was somewhere back here. I missed this, and then I bought somewhere in here. Somewhere in here-ish. August 8th, later on in the day. Somewhere in here, $5. Anyways, wanted to make sure that if the price increased, I could ride it up. My target was around $10. I sold a little early because I didn't want to hold on to them. I got a busy day and I just not watching things. So basically, let me connect my wallet here. Thank you. I basically sold them, and let me just look at my USDC balance, and it's sitting at 1185. So yeah, roughly that. Roughly $450 in realized gains. There's also some left over because I had some still on chain after swapping ETH. So almost a $500 profit. We'll call it an almost $500 profit. I also took some notes here for the video, so my numbers could be fairly accurate for you. But as you can see here, bought $500 at just over 520. I sold at 9.4, profit of around 450. We'll just call it 500 to make the number easy. So profit of 500. Okay, not really a big deal, not life changing here, but $500. I'm happy with that. I've also been in this pool here, earning around 700%, 720%, at one point 750%. I've earned $126 since just yesterday morning. My balance, let me look at my notes here. I bought on average around it was just over $5,000 of the LP tokens. So that's how much I put into the pool, split between, of course, ETH and BSwap. It's now worth around 6,700. So as you can see, LP tokens were 6,700, and 6,700 minus 5,200 is whatever that is, $1,500. So another $1,500 that's unrealized. I could sell this at any moment and realize my $1,500 of profit. Plus, I made another $126 USD in BSwap. What's really cool about this is I've also been earning these BSwap while these tokens have been appreciating. And so I'll show you something here. Let me know in the comments if you want more of this or if you're following along. I'm not recommending getting into BaseSwap. That's not the point of this video. There's hundreds of these projects out there. This is just one that I'm farming and I'm choosing to focus on. I can go harvest, and I'll harvest my $125 just to show you this is real. This isn't made up. I'm going to harvest it. It's going to show up in my wallet at any moment. Let's just go. We'll wait a moment. Base is pretty quick. By the way, if you're like, well, it's on ETH, it's not. It's a layer 2 on ETH, so gas fees are very inexpensive compared to ETH, which is why there's a lot of layer 2s built upon ETH to lower the gas fees, and Base is one of them. So here we go. I got my 13.749 in BSwap tokens. If I wanted to sell them for US dollars, I could go max. I'd have my $125 right then, right there. I am doing what I did with Radiant, which I did really well on, and anyone who did is probably doing well on. I'm not selling these as of right now. I will be watching things. I do feel like there's more token appreciation. Now, that's just my opinion based upon narratives and based upon their marketing, based upon what's going on Twitter. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But basically, it is worth $125 right now. I think it'll be worth more. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in this farm I'm in. It just shot up another $1. I'm going to stay in this farm I'm in. I'm going to continue to collect, and basically when you're in a farm like this, because you have 2 tokens, ETH and BSwap, if BSwap price is shooting to the moon, yes, your bag is going to increase, but not as much as if you were just holding it. That's called impermanent loss. Impermanent loss doesn't always mean you lost money. You just didn't make as much as you possibly could if you were holding the token. Study impermanent loss so you understand this. So for me to hedge against that a little bit, I also hold the token. If I think there's going to be some price appreciation, I'll also hold the token. Now, this APR is so high that I'm not too concerned about it because I'm also earning 700% of my money. And so, yeah, I might, if I was just holding BSwap, and let me know if this is making sense, I could earn a little bit more potentially. But to smooth things out, I like earning a yield. I've already earned 11 cents since I've harvested. By the end of today, that'll be another 130 bucks, and it could potentially be worth a lot more depending what the base and now it's 20 cents. And I could harvest this at any moment, and I'm guessing that it'd be nice to see 10 bucks today, 11 bucks today, and then I'll probably, depending on the narratives and what's kind of happening, I might make different decisions here in the next few days, and of course, inform the community. YouTube is not my full-time job, so I post like 2% of the stuff we do on YouTube. We got bull run bags building. We've got dollar cost averaging into 10 or 12 different assets, big cap, mid cap, small cap. If you want access to all that, join our community. It's the price of a coffee per day, and you will not only get a first-class education, they'll be around people who are doing this stuff, who are in conversation, who are literally pros at this stuff. It's not just me. Or keep leveraging YouTube. Just keep popping up on this YouTube channel and figuring it out. Like, play with these protocols. Get in here. Move around. Go onto DeFi Llama and look through some. What is this? Just click on it. Say, what is this? Okay, DEX, wrapped ETH. What is SDEX, Smart DEX? What kind of protocol is this? How's their community? Oh, you know what? I'm earning 79% in Smart DEX, and I really like their project. If I stake some Smart DEX, not stake, but if I add liquidity to this protocol, I'm going to earn some more Smart DEX tokens, and I think they're going to appreciate because if this is what the project is doing. I'm just making that up. I don't know what Smart DEX is, but you get the point. Concentrated liquidity pools. We cover that here in the Underdog Investor Group. And then I talk about this so much because when people join us, they're always like, I wish I joined you sooner. And I'm just like, I need to bring this up every time because I know it's saving people. Like, it's literally saving people from losing money, and it's helping people make a ton of money. We've got staking liquidity pools, but concentrated liquidity. I was in one last week that was doing 80% in a really stable pool. That's 80%. That's a percent every like 4 days or whatever that is, 5 days. If we can do around 10% in profit per month in DeFi without anyone having control over money, I consider that a massive win. Now, we're doing a lot more than that in some projects, and some projects we're doing less. But if we can balance it out, I mean, yes, $2,000 in 24 hours is nice. I don't really need it, so I'm going to take it, put it back into play. But I mean, I'll end it there because the opportunities are endless. People just don't want to sometimes see it, or they think someone else can do it and they can't. I love human beings and what they're capable of, and I think a lot of people don't bet on themselves, but bet on yourself. And if you see the potential in crypto and DeFi in the future as I do, then it's a great time to get in, and it's a great time to accumulate, and it's a great time to ride the next bull run. So I'll leave it at that. If I can help or support you anyway, just reach out in the comments. Let me know. Do check out the Underdog Investor Group. We actually have a new video. It's 14 minutes long, but it takes you behind the scenes of our community. If you do want to see behind the scenes, then check it out. I'll put a link below. With that said, I'm going to get out of here. Happy Thursday, and we'll talk soon. Peace.